What's up? What's up, family? It is your man, Juan J. Johnson, coming at you live. I am live. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, good evening. I did not want to be before you too long. I just wanted to come on board to advise, or just to remind the people
What's up, family?
that we are still having classes this week. To well, again, tomorrow is Wednesday. We will have a 12 o'clock from 12 to 2 intro to basic firearms class along with firearms. Again, the rest of this week, you got what's that, Thursday and Friday, because today is Tuesday. So on Thursday, we do the HQLs, which is the handgun qualification license, which is a 4 hour class from 9 to 1:30, family, 9 to 1:30. You can go to lonewolffarm.com to register. You can go to lonewolffarm@gmail.com too, if you want to register. On Fridays and Saturdays, still taking reservations, still can register. Fridays and Saturdays is where we do the wear and carry. The wear and carry classes. They are 16-hour classes, family. 16 hours, so you can get your wear and carry on. Classes start at 9. They're over at 5 on Friday, 9 to 5. Friday, on Saturday, we'll be going to the range. I will give you the location where we will meet the day before. But again, I know that we're talking about everything on today. We talk about the politics, talk about the Trump impeachment trial. We're talking about the lack of jobs. We talk about everything. But again, I just know the necessity to make self-defense and firearms a part of your normal vernacular, your normal conversation. Again, we don't even consider against self-defense or firearms. But this one right here, if you've been following me for social media for a period of time, if you know me personally, you know that I'm about the business of self-defense and I'm about the business of firearms. Haven't always, can't say I haven't always been this way, but haven't always been an instructor, but I've always been with the gun. And so do not let the distractions, don't let you not having the money keep you from becoming responsible gun users and owners. Uh, Again, if you don't want to be an owner of a gun, take the course on tomorrow from 12 to 2, the intro to basic firearms. Again, on Mondays and Wednesdays from 12 to 2, 2 hours out your day, you can learn about firearms. You can learn about the laws. You can learn about how to clean the firearm. You can learn about safety, the 4 rules of safety. Um, but on Tuesdays and Thursdays are the official HQL classes. They're 4 hours, 4.5 hours. You don't have to bring your gun. You don't have ammunition. Everything is taken care of. All you have to do is show up. Just show up. Again, the prices have been slashed, uh, and you know, I say take advantage of the course. Even if you don't come to Lone Wolf Farms, go to somebody else. Let somebody teach you how to be a responsible gun owner and gun user. Can't say this again. Let somebody else teach you how to be a responsible gun owner and gun user. I can't put a price on that. You don't have to come to me, but go to somebody. Go to somebody, family. That's my thing. Let somebody teach you. Let somebody train you, and then train your children or send your children to the courses so they can be trained. And we start training children as early as 7 years of age. 7. We have got to think about safety. We've got to think about protection. You can build all the houses you want, all the companies you want. You can have all the great ideas you want. But if you don't put up if you don't put a procedure in place to protect yourself, protect your your technologies, or your intellectual capacities, or your copyrights, then somebody can come in and just take your stuff. You say, what that has to do with guns? It's about protection. It's about self-defense. It's about defending yourself, defending your family, defending the community, and defending the culture. So again, loanwithfarm.com. That's loanwithfarm.com. You can register. Again, we do private sessions also. If you just want to become a better shooter, if you're a police officer, military, current or ex, and you want to be a better shooter, a marksman, somebody who know the fundamentals of shooting, you give us a call. We'll make sure you know the fundamentals. We'll make sure that you are up on your situation awareness. We'll make sure you have all the tools you need to become a responsible firearms shooter. Okay? And again, your children, they may not be old enough to own a gun, but don't deprive them of the information to become responsible gun owners and users. Let them be familiar with it so they can identify the parts, okay, of a revolver, of a semi-automatic. They know what they're looking at when they see it. They won't be afraid of it. Again, as Dr. James Small says so eloquently, he says, when you know the history of something, it removes the mystery of something. So when you know the history, it removes the mystery. So again, brothers, a lot of sisters are signing up. Where you at? Where you at, brothers? This is not the time to be absent. This is not the time to be absent. And for you brothers out there who has guns and you don't know what you're doing with it, this is the best time to learn, to be responsible gun users, since you already are a gun owner. Remember, a HQL only allows you the opportunity to buy the gun. Okay? Okay. Many already have guns in their houses, but they don't know what to do with the guns. And this is where we come in. We come in and we teach you and train you how to become responsible, very learned, educated gun owners and gun users. You will know about the laws, what Maryland requires or what any state requires. Okay? But best of all, most of all, you will have the confidence that when you hold that weapon in your hand, you will have the confidence that you will be able to identify all the parts, how to assemble and deassemble that firearm. You will be, again, you will have that confidence. That fear will be gone. Okay? And you'll be able to stand with pride and be able to show your friends and your family that I am practicing my Second Amendment right, the right to bear arms. And like I always say, the Second Amendment protects the First Amendment. All right? So look, I did not want to be for you long. I need you to share this video, share it again. Mondays and Wednesdays, intro to basic firearms, noonday. I know a lot of y'all about noonday prayer. Well, look here, after noonday prayer, because the prayer shouldn't be more about maybe 20 minutes. Come to learn about firearms, okay? We will take you to the range. If you need to go to the range to do some shooting, you can rent our services. We will go with you and give you solid instructions. You've already seen the videos. You've seen me out there teaching people real-time shooting, real-time results. Okay? So with that said, share this video, like this video, become a subscriber on my YouTube channel or whatever social media outlet I'm on. And I look forward to seeing you on the range. I look forward to seeing you become responsible gun owners and gun users. Okay. So with that said, Again, I am not going to stay with you too much longer. I just want to say something real quick. Give me 1 second. Uh, so Brian said, what range do we use? I am insured at Maryland Small Arms, but we can go to any range you want to go to. Go to Fred's, we go to Target, on Target, or Oldington. I am not limited to no specific range. No, any range you want to go to. But at the end of the day, we do some shooting. We can shoot. And promise you, you will not you will not leave the same way you came in. You will be a better shooter. And you will have acquired a little more knowledge than you already previously know. I'm always learning. Trust me. I eat and I drink and I sleep the firearms because it's a lot. Again, when you're a marksman, you want to be better. I said I like MSR. It's better than Fred's Outdoor. I can concur with you 100%. You know, MSR, Maryland Smaller Range is a good spot. And so again, uh, make a decision. Um, some of y'all got guns in your houses. You need to test fire. You need to clean them. Some of y'all got guns in your house and you don't even have to, you don't even know how to open the gun. See, I know some of you got guns in the house. You're afraid to use them. Don't even know how to clean them. This is when we come. This is when you call us, and we'll make sure you are becoming a responsible gun owner and gun user. So this is my message to the people. I may come back and deal with some social issues a little bit later on, but first of all, I need everybody on board: black, white, Asian, Latino, West Indian, African. If you say you American, if you claim to be American, I need you to become a responsible gun owner and gun user. If you're a woman, I really need you to become responsible gun owners, gun users. He says, what do you think about tack traps? A tack trap. I'm going to get some for my place. Tack traps. What do you think about tack traps? What is a tack trap? Brian, I'm going to get some from my place. A tack trap. So let me look up what a tack trap. Got me looking up stuff. Tack. He's trying to test my knowledge. Okay. Tack trap tactical. Okay. Um, okay. You improvise. It's furniture that allows you to hide your weapons in plain sight without of prying eyes. So watch this. A tack trap. So if I'm going to have a tack trap, I'll probably have a tack trap if I'm living by myself. I don't know if I want a tack trap around me dealing with children or my loved ones in the house. You know, again, because you got to always remember this in Maryland, or depending on where you live at, you know, one of the rules of safety is this. There's certain rules to this. You must make sure that your weapon is stored, unloaded, and inaccessible to everybody but yourself. So if you get that tactical tap tracks, and they are posed in this furniture, but you're hiding your weapon in plain sight. Well, that weapon is accessible to anybody. You know, they say curiosity killed the cat. Okay, so I'm gonna say the legal way would be to make sure that your gun is inaccessible to others and stored properly. Uh, you're alone in your house. You may have you have to you know what you have to consider all options when you're alone in your house. And you don't have company and you don't have to worry about other people coming to your house. So that's just my person says, hey, I gotta live alone, brother. You come up in here starting shit, it's not going to be good. Again, we teach you have to know when and when not to shoot. It's not just about having guns. You have to know when and when not to shoot somebody. And most people don't talk about that. When are you allowed to shoot somebody? When are you not allowed to shoot somebody? Law enforcement has rules. Every law enforcement, every domesticated law enforcement officer knows when and when not to shoot somebody. That's the standard. You know, civilians need to know when and when not to shoot somebody. And these are the topics that we go over during the HQL classes, during the wear and carry classes, because you need to know that just because somebody coming to your house is that reason to shoot them. They could have went to the wrong door. And then they in your house, you pulled out your gun. What was their intentions? That's another discussion. You have to know when. You know, you know you're accountable. You're responsible for every round that come out that weapon. Every round. So you just have to be accountable, and you will be responsible for your actions. Um, but again, you're by yourself. You know where they are. Um, you don't have that same situation as a family, but you do have friends and people to come over, and that could make your weapon more accessible to them. So just be mindful of that if you decide to get that tactical traps in your house, the furniture. That's my only concern with that. Okay. Um, so again, family, go to loanwolffirearm.com, loanwolffirearm.com, register for the classes. The classes are all the way up till next month. So you still have time to register. Again, the virtual HQL classes are like virtual. They're virtual. They're virtual the first couple of hours. The last hour or so will be on the range shooting. Then you will have your certifications if you pass, your credentials, you submit to the state of Maryland, and within 3 weeks or so, you should have your HQL. Uh, for your wear and carry, the investigation is going to be a little bit longer. You're not going to get your wear and carry in 30 days. The average time frame for a wear and carry family is maybe 60 to 90 days from the time you complete the course and submit all your paperwork. They do a very thorough, detailed investigation for those who are trying to obtain the uh, wear and carry. And that's with any state. It's going to take a little bit longer than your HQL because HQL only allows you to purchase the gun. Okay, not the wear and carry. You need an HQL to purchase the gun, in state or out of state. If you go out of state and you come across a gun you like, they're going to ask you for your HQL. Do you have an HQL? What is that? A handgun qualification license, which allows you to purchase a weapon. Now, handgun. As far as the shotguns and your rifles, you don't need a HQL for that. Okay, but you're going to still answer the questions that are applicable for HQL, and you won't get your gun immediately, maybe within 7 days, but you won't be able to get your gun the same day. Okay, he said tactical traps do a good job of stealthily covering one's weapons. However, keeping one under the kitchen table with a magnet is suspect unless you are expecting trouble. Absolutely. Look, again, you're going to have to, if you ever have one of those tactical traps in your house and you have to eventually use it and you had to go to court and testify why you did it, they're going to just pull out the law. Did you store your weapon and make it inaccessible to others? Everything you do, you're going to have to qualify. You're going to have to explain why you did what you did. Okay? You're going to have to explain it. If you cannot articulate it, I don't know if I would do it. That's just my 2 cents on that. Okay? So explain and articulate why you did what you did, why you're doing what you're doing. Okay? So with that said, share this video. Sharing is caring. I'm going to eventually start talking about social issues, family, because again, we have a lot that's going on in our community, and we just can't be one-dimensional no more. Hey, Mona, thank you, lady. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciate you too. Appreciate you too. Um, and look, Mona, you can hit me on the horn if you need some training. I got you. I got you. At a discount price. Mm. He says, I'm also investing in special clothing for concealed carry. Absolutely. So look, watch this. Clothing is good for concealed carry. The most important aspect of a concealed carry is the holster, family. Say this again. If you're going to be concealed carry, if you're going to be wearing carry, the most important aspect is finding the right holster. If you don't have the right holster in your possession, so when you pull up your shirt and pull your gun, or you have to conceal it, but when it's time for you to use it, you don't want to be playing with that holster. You want to be able to have a solid grip on your gun when you bring it up. And I mean that. And this is a little training gun. It's a laser gun, okay? But you want to make sure that your hand is up on that back strap and you got a solid grip, okay? You don't have time to play with that holster. You need to be up on that back strap, real solid, okay? You don't have time to play with that, okay? So with that said, I need you guys to be serious about becoming responsible gun owners and gun users. This says, if a holster lacks friction or has too much friction, then it's all for nothing when it comes time to use it. I won't disagree with you. Again, you got multiple holsters out there. When you're talking about a concealed carry or a wear and carry, where you only have seconds to, pull your shirt up and come on your target, or you trying to, or, because again, if somebody has to jump on you and you're just waiting for a chance to turn around, because it just takes seconds to pull your shirt up and be on somebody. They can have to jump on you, but you're always looking for an opportunity when you conceal carry to present, to stop that threat, because they don't know you. They don't know that you are carrying. You know, but we go over these things in the classes because again, look, I am 25 years DC police. Okay, I gave that company 25 years of my life. Okay, I've been had guns since I was in my teens. Okay, literally, you know. So there's certain things I just know. I'm not guessing. I'm not wondering. Certain things. When you look at, I can say that I'm the authority on being a marksman. I know how to shoot. I'll make you a better shooter. God is my witness. You will not lead the same way that you came. Promise you that. I know policing. Okay. I know them laws. Okay, it's just certain things you just know. You know, I don't try to be no cook. I don't try to be no cleaner. I don't try to be no scientist. I don't try to be no computer whiz. I know this. I know that revolver. I know that gun. Law enforcement. You can't do for 27 years and don't know it. And trust me, when you're training people, it's like you're still doing it. You're still doing it. I still do it, you know? So I believe the holsters, Brian said, I believe that holsters for the most part should be weapon specific. They are. They are. But when you start dealing with the holsters for concealed carry, you don't want something big and bulgy. You want something small, but yet it can conceal and it's going to fit you real tight along your skin, along your, not along your skin, but along your body, along your person. You know, so that when you, I mean, you could have a big old Glock 1917 and put it inside the right holster and you're concealed. Like I said, I got a 26, 26 fist in your hand. You know, but what if you don't have no 26? What if you have a 19, like law enforcement's a 17s or Berettas, and you want to be concealed with it? The holster makes a difference. It makes a difference, family. It does. And, you know, I mean, we look at, we talking about, you don't want, look at, when you talking about guns, you don't want to be cheap with the guns. You don't want to be cheap with your holsters. You don't want to be cheap with your bullets. Like I said, I got the bullets I take to the range, which is my full metal jackets or my ball bullets, but I don't be shooting no hollow points if I ain't got to. These days, hollow points are running you like $2 a bullet, almost $100 a box. When you start getting into this whole firearm piece, different, it's a whole different world. But it's a world that we need to become more familiar with because I always say this, that the proof and the essence of love is the willingness to protect. Say this again, that the proof and the essence of love is your willingness to protect. And if you're not willing to protect, I don't know if you got any love. And you said, well, what does that have to do with guns? Well, the first law of mankind is self-preservation. Say this again. The first law of man is self-preservation. Okay. And I keep reminding us that the only reason why me and you, or whoever comes across this video, this live feed on social media, the only reason why we can have these discussions, freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom of assembly, freedom of petition, okay? Okay, freedom of assembly is because the Second Amendment is the right to bear arms protects that First Amendment. That somebody somewhere in the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine, National Guard, Coast Guard, they are protecting their homeland from foreign and domestic enemies. Okay? Let's keep it real. So we don't make these connections on a day-to-day that the reason why you can have this conversation that we have right now is because we get some Army, some Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, National Guard, law enforcement are protecting our rights. And if that don't work, we got 300, correction, it's 410 million guns held in the hands of citizens of this country. of this country. So if we come up short with the four branches of the military, we got a militia already on the homeland for those who would consider to go to war or take this country. They may be able to beat the military, but they got to still deal with that militia. And who's the militia? The citizens, the people. Brian says, I am so glad that you mentioned the fact that we should not be cheap with our guns, but we should not be ridiculous when it comes to ammo. My ammo costs almost $2 a round. Let's say that I have to shoot you 3 times. That's 6 out my pocket. Man, if you don't, I gotta remember I'm going live. So let me say this to you. I'm glad we mentioned the fact that, yes, you don't be cheap about guns. You don't be cheap about equipment. You don't be cheap about ammo. And right now, the ammo is going so high because we got a delegation of Democrats right now in the in the Congress and Senate who's introducing legislation to snatch these guns or make it difficult for you to be able to have a gun. I just posted, I think yesterday, I think it was HR 172 with Sheila Lee. It's now she wants to propose that if you get a firearm, that you got to pass a psychological evaluation. They need to interview if you're married, your spouse or two relatives and your friends, and you have to be able to tell them where your guns are, how many guns you have, and where the guns are stored. You have to tell the government how many guns you have and where they are stored. Come on, man. I can't make this up. I just posted that bill by Sheila Lee. Oh, here it is. It's going to be HR 127. It's called the Sabika Sheik Firearm License and Registration Act. Look it up. HR 127. Go to congress.gov and you'll see the bill right there. I almost feel like reading it right now because that bill, look, I read about that bill. I made a post about that several days ago. It's crazy. Someone has lost their damn mind. Yeah, we got quite a few people that's in the Congress and lost their damn mind. Okay, this is an infringement on this on the Second Amendment. Okay, the Second Amendment is a right. Okay, it ain't a privilege. It's a right of the people. Okay, and so when you read this license and registrations and firearms, this bill talks about under the firearm registration system, the owner of the firearm shall transmit to the Bureau, which is the FBI, the make, model, serial number of the firearm, the identity of the owner of the firearm, the date that firearm was acquired by the owner. What else? Where the firearm is or will be stored. A notice specifying the identity of any person to whom in any period of time during which the firearm will be loaned to a person. They're gonna give you like a deadline to supply the information. It's normally like 90 days. If not, they have taxed you $75,000 to $100,000, man. So I'm gonna have to come on board with another gun brother and discuss this firearm piece because again, most of us are so detached from firearms because again, we just have in our mind that there's enough police officers for everybody, and it's not. That's why it's 410 million legal guns out here, because the other society, the other community knows that they're not leaving it up to the police to protect them. They just not do it, and I wouldn't either. He said, "What's next? How many rounds we have to access, and how much ammo we have in our possession?" Well, in the same bill, Brian's talking about, you know what? They want each gun to have a capacity of 10 rounds. They don't want you to have no more than 10 rounds, magazines. Okay? So I'm going to have to deal with that bill, because that bill is a direct infringement on the Second Amendment. And we got people out here right now who just don't want the citizens of this nation to have guns. And they forget that this nation was built on guns. You know, the gun has always been, as my teacher told me, the great equalizer. Okay. And so don't think that me or others are going to surrender our guns. And that's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. It won't. So, but I need you guys, girls, ladies and gentlemen, and your children to be about the business of becoming responsible gun owners and gun users. Like yesterday. So like I said, on Mondays and on Wednesdays, we have the intro to firearms, which is a 2-hour class from 12 to 2, 12 o'clock to 2 o'clock. Okay, on a Zoom feed. Okay, you know, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, HQLs, 4-hour classes, 4.5-hour classes. Okay, and I've sliced the prices. Okay, I'm literally giving the classes away. Okay, and then on Fridays and Saturdays, if you want that wear and carry, concealed carry, um, hey, Friday and Saturday from 9 to 5, and then 9 to 5 on Saturday. And then if you want just some private sessions, we will come to you. We can meet up with you, go to the range, and you have your private, personal firearm instructor. Okay? What's the cost of, he said, what's the cost of the class? I don't really need it, but I am not the one who thinks I can learn. So the cost of the intro to firearms, 2 hours, is $65. It was $110. The only reason why I lowered the price is because it's a virtual class, and when this thing opens back up and we do the face-to-face classes, then I'll bring it back up to 110, because you don't have the gun on you on the virtual class. You know, if it was face-to-face, you would see the different guns. You would hold them, touch them. You know, so I slashed that price in half. But on the HQLs, my HQLs was running you $225. I dropped them down to $150. $150, because I'm saying, you know what? It's a $50 application fee through the state of Maryland. You're going to pay a fee through whatever state you want to get your HQL, okay, or your concealed carry, and then you're going to have to buy some prints. So a total for my class and the application fee and prints, you probably put out maybe $235, $240, okay, and then for the wear and carry, those classes are like $350, because that's 16 hours with you. That's and you're not bringing nothing but yourselves. I mean, you're going to bring it. If you have a gun that you want to use your concealed carry, you bring that gun. You know, because we got to go over you working with your own gun. Okay, but 350, 16 hours, you're going over everything about the gun. I mean, the laws, when and when not to shoot somebody. Okay, situational awareness. Okay, home self-defense, how to holster. I mean, assembly and reassembling the weapon. You're going over everything. You know, so and look. So watch this. If you go for the concealed carry weapon, I'm gonna throw in the HQL because the concealed carry or the wear and carry class, it literally supersedes what the states require for HQL. If you're doing 16 hours on a wear and carry or concealed carry, you've already met and you've exceeded expectations for HQL. So I'm gonna throw in the HQL because you got to remember this: the wear and carry is not an HQL. The wear and carry allows you to carry it, not purchase it. You still need an HQL to buy a gun. So I'm throwing in. I don't have to throw in the HQL. I don't have to throw it in because you're paying for that wear and carry or the concealed carry weapons. I'm gonna throw it in anyway as a courtesy. So when I give you $350, you're getting the deal. I know others charge much more than that. Okay, and if these prices keep going up with this ammo, I may have. We all gonna have to make some adjustments to go up on prices. Okay, because you need a lot of training with the concealed carries and the wear and carry. You got to learn how to shoot. I got to show you how to shoot, not just go over the gun. Can you shoot? And if you can't shoot, it's a little more time with you. Okay, so now the personal classes for when you rent my personal services, that's like $75 an hour. That ain't nothing. I went down to Carolinas. They charging $100 an hour. They charging $100 for firearm sessions. My little 75 is nothing. Nothing. Especially if you're getting excellent teaching. Excellent teaching. And I know what others are doing and versus what I'm doing. Because I'm still trying to come up with a valid reason for getting a Maryland wear and carry. Since it's so true with them, I already have my Utah, but it's only valid in BA, DC, and Maryland. Again, those who want wear and carry, you must be able to articulate why you need it. It's not impossible. It's just a little difficult, but it can happen. You know, the quickest way is to get incorporated. It's your own business. Get some brick and mortar. You know, show some receipts that you're making deposits consistently. It's one of the quickest ways to get wear and carry in Maryland. You know, but it's not impossible, family. The states are granting concealed carries and wear and carry. Okay, they are granted those, but again, you're going to have to justify why you need it. You're going to have to. Okay. So again, go to my page and check out go to congress.gov and check out HR 127 for all my gun enthusiasts, those who are looking at buying, becoming responsible gun owners and gun users, and see what Sheila Lee has proposed, which is just a violation to the Second Amendment, you know, and and us gun owners are not going to just take that sitting down. We're just not going to do it. I'm not going to do it because I know the importance of us having firearms and being able to protect ourselves. But again, if you want to get you a shotgun or assault rifle, something like that, you don't need a HQL for that. But you're going to still answer the same questions when you decide to buy that weapon, those weapons. You know, they demand more when you want a handgun. Okay, so I don't have the resources for brick and mortar, but I am looking forward to Executive Protection School later this year or this next spring, where again, if you're looking forward to executive protection, we offer classes and training on armed, unarmed SPOs. You know, we certify SPOs, armed and unarmed. You know, so if you want to get your credentials, you want to get want to be insured, you know, go through the training session. for armed and unarmed. And trust me, the information that we put out there to those who wanted to be armed, unarmed SPOs, a lot of companies ain't putting out what we putting out. I have certified, I have trained armed, unarmed police officers. I'm telling you right now, there are groups who came to us for recertification, and they had never saw the information we put out there, but they was out there for years being armed, unarmed police officers, and they were so glad to get the information because now they were more aware. You know, they know about what tort is. You know, they know about the Fourth Amendment. You know, I mean, certain things you would think that people would know, they didn't know. You know, people realize this: when you are armed security officer, whether you DC, Maryland, or Virginia, if you are armed security officer, you have the same power as the regular police in your jurisdiction. The same power. While you are working. When you off, you off. When you're working, you have the same power and authority that they have. And many don't know that. But you know now. Okay? Armed SPOs have the same power as your regular police officer or your traditional police officer or one who's gone through the academy for 6 to 8 months, whether it's county, whether it's state, whether it's municipal. They have the same power, family. Don't get it twisted. And authority while they are working. When they're off, they're off. But when they're working, they have the same power. Okay. So look at, he said, please express the importance of consistent range practice. Many people, some of both knowing have weapons, but haven't been to the range since they drove one. Yeah, that's why I come on as often as I do. You know, so watch this. There's so many things going on in our world, and with us as Black Americans, we have so many fights that we're fighting. Um, so I pay attention to everything that's going on in the world, and I be wanting to talk about other issues. But when I sit before this camera and sit before this whole social media platform, my mouth goes straight back to firearms. I know there's quite a few people out here who's doing the job of informing the people. We have some good brothers and sisters out here who inform everybody. And I'm not remiss because I used to be that type of person talking about all the issues. But this issue is important because we're not talking about it as much. And yes, we can talk about racism, white supremacy. We can talk about immigration. We can talk about DACA, talk about dreamers. You can talk about unemployment. We can talk about the pandemic, COVID. We can talk about all these issues. But you cannot not talk about protecting yourself against foreign and domestic enemies, or just protecting yourself from somebody who try to take your stuff, or just talking about self-defense. He says, I'm looking at La Raza and Associates. They are one of the most reputable executive protection and training institutions in the entire United States. We got some good ones out there. We have some good ones out there. We have some proven folks out there. But I just have to talk about this whole gun piece. Again, if you have followed me on social media for years, you will see that I've recently, the last year or so, have just been reposting some stuff I said years ago. Because my focus is on trying to get you as armed and responsible gun owners and users. That's my passion right now. Mm-hmm. You know, it says you're on the front line battling against ignorance, and there are those of us who sincerely appreciate it. Keep up the good work. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. That's the goal, bro. You know, it's nowhere in the world I can turn my 25 years of law enforcement and just go off into the sunset because I done did my time. That's the problem. What the heck is retirement? Retire from what? We don't, black folks, we don't have the luxury to retire from nothing. We got to work. Look here, COVID-19 showed me one thing, that we have nothing to show for in the last 400 years. Okay? You know, I might have to leave this and do another section, because, you know, COVID-19 exposed bad leadership, no leadership, and compromised leadership, and those who sold out the community. Because we have nothing to show for. I'm being real with that. I'm passionate about that too, because every time I walk out my door, I'm seeing we have nothing to show for. No grocery stores, no hospitals, no gas stations, none of the things that a collective need to survive. No restaurants, no factories to make your underwear, your socks, your drawers, your t-shirts, or even your shoestrings. No farms. And I even throw in a liquor store. We don't own nothing. We got a lot of churches, a lot of mosques, and now we have legal weed. And just for the record, if you got a legal weed card, you can't have a gun. You can't have a gun. You cannot have a gun with a legal weed card. Okay? A legal weed prescription. So again, you know, I just have to keep talking about this self-defense piece because again, it's not a part of our vernacular. We don't even think about protecting ourselves. We're still waiting for somebody to do something for us that we can do ourselves. And as a former police officer who went to the households of the fatherless, who went to the neighborhoods where the youngers are off the chain because there's no males around, they're not familiar with male energy, I had to lay the smack down on, lay the hammer on them, man, and check them. I said, there are people out here who have no problem with taking advantage of the current pandemic and would go to great lengths to get what they want. If they can get it from you, then that's what they would do. Absolutely. People out here will go to great lengths to undermine you and get what and take your stuff. That's true. That's facts. But guess what? Our next door neighbor, Virginia, has a concealed carry out there, and you don't see the crime that you see in DC or Maryland or Virginia. No, because it's like a silent reminder. It's like a silent reminder that you know what, everybody out here got guns. You're more hesitant to make a move on somebody if you think they have a gun or they can protect themselves. Okay, so that's my 2 cents on that. Again, please, family, become responsible gun owners and gun users, whether you use my services or not. I just need you to become responsible gun owners and gun users, period. Okay? Um, and with that said, go to loanwithfirearm.com, register, or go to loanwithfirearm@gmail.com. Either one. Leave me a message. The site is taking PayPal. It takes Visa, and all the dates for this month and next month are already posted. Pick your date: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. It's something going on every day. There's some training going on every day. So you have no more excuses for not being trained. Okay. So with that said, thank you for tuning in. You know, said, I am not advocating for. He said, I am not advocating for marijuana use. Marijuana is being singled out. This is evidence by the fact that alcohol put people in even greater danger than those who drink can own and possess weapons. No one ever died from excessive marijuana use. Well, again, when you talk about owning guns, you can't be using alcohol or marijuana for real. You can't even be under the influence of nothing. You got to be sober. Can't be high. Even you go to the range, you know, they won't even let you on the range if you have the scent of weed on you, because you can't. I mean, they got to make sure that you wasn't smoking before you got there. Or you, I mean, not smoking, but they want to make sure that you are cognitive, that you're not uh, high on drugs. But you're right, marijuana is being singled out. You know, um, most of these drugs being are just recreational drugs. You know, but these are our laws. You know, they're on the books to be uh, adhered to per se. I did that right there. He said no one ever died from marijuana, excessive marijuana use. Well, look here. A lot of this marijuana out here right now, uh, you got like 150 different strands. That ain't marijuana no more in my book. That's something else. That's something else. It's a whole lot of strands out here. And some of the stuff, look, if you knew that some of this stuff was actually dealing with your you being fertile or your sperm count, you leave it alone. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. You anything they legalize, I'm always questioning. I'm like, anything they against, I'm actually for. Okay. So with that said, I'm not going to hold you no more. Again, go register for those Monday and Tuesday 2-hour sessions, virtual. Okay, virtual. All right. Was that Monday, Wednesday, and then Tuesdays and Thursdays HQLs, 4 hours. Fridays and Saturdays, wear and carry, 16 hours. You can do it. Become responsible gun owners, gun users. Okay. And with that said, I am out of here. Always remember this. It's not how much you know, it's how much you care. And there is a lone wolf in you. Have a good evening. I'm out.